That was cool. Pun entirely intended.
Pay attention, Ogilvy Maurice Hedgehog. You are fast. You are clever. You are convinced of your own coolness, and yet here you stand, proud, confident, and saying, "That was cool, pun intended." Do you even hear yourself? Do you understand the catastrophic level of failure you just broadcast to the world? You had everything, momentum, presence, charm, and you threw it all away for that. That was not humor. That was not cleverness. That was a declaration of your own ineptitude. I have seen beings rise with elegance, legends stride with perfection, and fools stumble spectacularly. And yet you, Ogilvy, have taken a moment that could have been legendary and ruined it with your own mouth. The world does not forgive. It does not pause. It moves. It judges. It leaves behind those who cannot hold the moment. And you, Ogilvy, have placed yourself squarely in that category. Learn this lesson. Etch it into your mind. Memorize it as if your life depends on it. Because it does. One does not announce one's own cleverness. One does not explain one's own joke. One does not say, pun intended, ever again.
It's no use. But why can't I defeat you?
Because we're Sonic heroes.
Listen to me, Sonic Ogilvy Maurice Hedgehog. I have had enough of your bullshit and constant buffoonery. That was possibly the worst thing I have ever heard come out of your mouth. Not only do you have the audacity to say we're Sonic heroes, you also say it right after an intense moment. You have to be fucking kidding me. There's nothing humorous about saying the game's title. I thought we learned this from the goddamn Minecraft movie. But no, you insist on being a fucking unfunny blue chud. And to think I used to look up to you. I used to be inspired by you. I am giving you one more chance, Ogilvy Maurice Hedgehog. If you pull this bullshit one more time, you will be eradicated. Do you copy?
Where's my drink?
What drink?
My drink? My Diet Dr. Kelp? Don't tell me you forgot my drink!
But you didn't order any.
How am I supposed to eat this pizza without my drink?
Honestly, you ordering a pizza and acting like the universe owes you perfection when SpongeBob and Squidward nearly lost their sanity delivering it is peak entitlement. Grow up. You don't get to sit there like some soggy sea cucumber whining about timing and suddenly remembering a drink you ordered only after the fact, like it magically counts retroactively. Get a grip, stop acting like the world revolves around your dough-covered expectations, and maybe appreciate that they crossed a literal desert just to get you fed. The fact they even showed up at all should have humbled you instantly. Instead, you nitpick like this was a 5-star restaurant and not a heroic delivery mission. It's a pizza and a made-up drink complaint, not a royal banquet. Act like a functioning adult and eat.
Here, girl.
Brian Edward Griffin, don't blink, don't breathe. Stand there and listen. What you just did was absolutely disgusting. I can tolerate things to a point, but this is where I draw the line, you horny piece of shit. Do you even realize how pathetic you look right now? What you did was absolutely sickening. It was a choice. A deliberate, slimy choice, driven by nothing but your own sexual desires. You parade around pretending to be enlightened, moral, better than everyone else, when in reality you're just another weak creature ruled by your miserable, filthy instincts. You dress it up in faux philosophy and empty words, but underneath it all, you're just a predictable, desperate, narcissistic loser. You didn't manipulate out of love, or curiosity, or confusion. You did it because restraint is something you've never learned, and that's the most damning part. You know better, and you did it anyway. That makes it worse. That makes it fucking unforgivable. This only goes to show that you cannot control your own desires. So no, you don't get sympathy. You don't get excuses. And you certainly don't get redemption by acting clever or self-aware afterward. This is where the line is, and you have finally crossed it. Turn around, walk away, and understand this clearly. If I ever see your worthless face in this town again, I will personally remove you from this damn planet. You are a disgrace to your own family, and nobody wants to see you here anymore. Do not step foot in this town again, or there will be consequences. You are nothing more than a filth that does not deserve to walk among us.
Oh my God, Peter, what the hell?
Peter, what are you doing?
Oh, surely, Jerome, you don't want to stay in the same house as a ghost who carries a torch around. Oh, fire ghost! Oh, you scared yet?
Peter motherfucking piece of horseshit, look into my cold dead eyes and stop running. We've had some issues before, and it seems like you haven't changed. I'm going to ask you once and for all to stop with your fucking bullshit. It's not funny, and it will never be. What you're doing is very disrespectful to your peers. I am going to fucking kill you the next time I see you do some bullshit. And seriously, this is your last chance, fucker.
Okay, Krabs, I'll let you stay, but first, help me settle a bet. If you had to choose between SpongeBob and all the money I have in my pocket, which would you take?
That depends. How much money are we talking about?
Mr. Krabs!
62 cents.
I'll take the money.
Mr. Krabs!
Here you go, Krabs. 62 cents.
Let's have a quick chat, Krabs. Are you absolutely kidding me? 62 cents. That's it? That's what you sold SpongeBob for? 62 stupid, worthless cents. You didn't just sell your worker, Eugene. You sold your soul. You cheap, greedy, crustaceous cheapskate. That little yellow sponge busted his ass for you every single day. Smiling, trying, giving everything he had. And you tossed him away like trash, just to make a few coins rattle in your claw. Now that's just pathetic. I mean, it's just flat out disgusting. Even monsters like me have standards, and you're crawling under them. SpongeBob didn't deserve that. He deserved respect. He deserved loyalty. He deserves better than a crabby old boss who only cares about his stupid wallet. You don't care about SpongeBob? No, you only care about cash. Remember this, Krabs. You did not make a clever deal today. You showed everyone what you really are. Let this be a lesson to you, and if I ever catch you hurting SpongeBob again, I will fucking destroy you. Do you understand?
Why did all the dinosaurs die out? Because you touch yourself at night.
Direct your attention toward me, Professor Jackhart Lockey Hillborn, because this matter demands it, whether you like it or not. This was not a joke, nor something to laugh at as if my feelings were cheap entertainment. What you did went far beyond humor. You ridiculed me openly, without shame, in front of many children for having experiences at the break of the witching hour. Experiences that were personal, sincere, and never offered for your amusement. I have had enough of this treatment. It is shameful and deeply disappointing to mock a little boy simply to satisfy your twisted sense of humor. You stood in a position of authority and chose cruelty over compassion, laughter over understanding. That reflects far more on your character than it ever could on mine. I did nothing to deserve that humiliation, yet you appeared to enjoy it, as though my embarrassment was something you found amusing. I asked a simple question, clear, honest, and respectful, and you returned none of that dignity. Instead, you belittled me before my peers, turning me into a spectacle, and leaving me sorrowful and embarrassed as others watched. You did not merely ignore my question. You dismissed my humanity entirely, treating my voice and experiences as though they held no value, and were unworthy of even the slightest consideration. When this trip ends and the noise fades, I want you to think about what you have done. Reflect on your words, your actions, and the harm they cause. Consider this as you return home, drawing the curtains, and sitting alone with your thoughts. Understand that respect cannot be mocked into existence. It must be earned through decency and compassion, and by your actions here, you have done the very opposite.
88, Steve? If you don't know what that stands for, it's attention, deficit, hyper, oh hey, man!
Let's have a quick chat, child. This is a show for talented and creative individuals, not foolish and dense nitwits like you. 6-year-old boys like you should be in kindergarten coloring with crayons and counting goldfish in math class. That joke wasn't just unoriginal, it was straight up unamusing and distasteful. Attention deficit hyper disorder is not a disorder to be poking fun at, and quite frankly, the fact that you went that far shows what type of person you truly are. Why are you even here, boy? Who told you that you were funny? I get that these type of jokes may get you cheap laughs on the playground, but we are professionals, and that's the best you could come up with. I'm sitting here trying to figure out how that was remotely funny, let alone acceptable. Seriously, did you stop to think for even a millisecond the implications of what you were just saying? Or did you just blurt out the first insensitive thought that came to your head? That disaster of a joke, if I can even call it that, was callous, ignorant, and straight up disrespectful. You need to get your act together before your lifestyle of obnoxious and sickening remarks leaves you with no place to be accepted. You may be a cute, innocent little boy now, but if you're cracking these types of innuendos 10 years down the road, nobody will want to associate with you. Nobody will want to be friends with you. You will be a disgrace and a disappointment. You will deserve no place on this planet. Fix yourself now or never, because right now, you're not just failing to be funny. You're failing to be a decent human being.
Oh, Grandpa's funeral. Baby looked good in black. That's her mom? Damn, I can work with this.
Brian Edward Griffin, I knew you were low. I knew you were hollow, self-absorbed, and rotting under layers of fake intellect and moral posturing. But this is a new benchmark of disgrace. At work, alone, looking at grief, real human loss, and twisting it into something this repulsive. It's disgusting. It's diabolical. It's everything wrong with you concentrated into one shameful moment. You spend your life preaching empathy, feminism, art, and virtue like you're above everyone else. Yet here you are proving you don't even understand basic decency. This isn't weakness or a mistake. It's a choice, and it's profoundly disappointing. I'm not shocked you failed. I'm shocked at how eagerly you dove headfirst into the worst version of yourself. Honestly, Brian, the only reason I don't tear your soul out right here, drag it to heaven, so you can personally apologize to that grandfather you disgraced, and then drop you screaming into the deepest, darkest layer of hell where you belong, is restraint. And understand this clearly. You are one of the luckiest individuals I have ever encountered. Do something this stupid again, sink this low again, and the pain and consequences won't just be memorable. They'll be unforgettable.
Well, I'm off to buy imaginary groceries.
Oh, look at my little cowboy.
Come on, Stewie, up in your high chair.
Boy, he must be starving.
Yep, he's really chowing down.
Hey, how's the food, Stewie? Oi, blimey, it's a right delicious, I do declare.
Megan, aka Megatron, Meg, Harvey Oswald Griffin, and Christopher Cross, Chris Griffin, remain motionless. Listen well, or face the irreversible consequences of your apathy. You both, the epitome of irresponsibility, are the very embodiment of negligence, tarnishing the air with your indifference. You are nothing but detestable filth, a stain on this world, the very definition of selfishness and cowardice. It was your thoughtless actions that paved the road to your brother Stewie's agony, his suffering carved deeply into the very fabric of his soul. And yet, you both, despicable in your ignorance, walked away as if you weren't the architects of his brutal undoing. How dare you pretend to be innocent? How dare you sit there with your pathetic faces, as though you are not drenched in the consequences of your failure to act? The blood of your brother Stewie is on your hands, and yet you dare to live without remorse, without a whisper of accountability. Each breath you take, each moment you waste, is an affront to the very life that once belonged to him. You've continued on with your wretched lives, as though your actions didn't carve an irreversible wound into the soul of your own flesh and blood. You are the architects of this misery. You are the reason he is no longer here. Know this. You can run, you can hide behind your pathetic excuses, but the truth remains etched into the darkness. It will follow you, it will haunt you. There is no escape from the guilt that weighs heavily upon you. Every misstep you take, every moment you dare to indulge in your trivial lives, Stewie's pain will echo in your conscience, gnawing at you. There is no redemption for those who choose to ignore the suffering they've caused. You are not worthy of peace. You are not worthy of forgiveness. And when the truth finally catches up to you, when the weight of your sins becomes too much to bear, don't expect mercy. There is no mercy for those who turn a blind eye to their own responsibility. You'll be left alone, drowning in the very guilt you tried to suppress. You will be consumed by the darkness you have created, and you will remember every single day that it was you who allowed it all to fall apart.
Bang, bang! I'm gonna finger bang you, Chris!
Not if I finger bang you first, Dad! Bang, bang!
I'm gonna finger bang the two of you at the same time. Bang, bang.
Hey, me too. Bang.
Oh, no one wants to get finger banged by you, Meg.
Why don't you just go do that to yourself, Meg?
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Christopher, Lois Griffin, Peter Lowenbry, Griffin Sr., Stewie Griffin, each of you, desist at once and heed my words. For years, you have isolated Meg, subjected her to relentless derision, commanded her silence, and now, most unforgivably, urged her towards self-annihilation. This degradation ends here. My tolerance has been exhausted beyond repair. You have played with my mercy until it has shattered entirely. I stand before you as the terminus of consequence. I have arrived to bring this cruelty to its final conclusion. I am your grim reaper. Steel yourselves and draw what may be your final breath. For as my claws ascend and rend the air itself, judgment descends. Your transgressions are innumerable, and atonement shall not be granted. Farewell, the Griffin family. Oh, clock strikes 6, I see. Luck is on your side for this once. I am now obliged to make my departure, but do not be too relieved. Test me once more, and it shall be your end. Next time, it is unlikely the hour will be so merciful. Mark my words, Griffins, behave yourselves, or your faces shall meet my teeth.
Hey, baby, how'd you like to share a pair of skates?
Sure.
Oh, never mind. Well, you look a lot better from the back.
You jerk.
Oh, hey, baby, you want to go somewhere? Blah, 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 blah.
Glenn Quaddlejack. Come over here. We need to have a talk, you scumbag. Glenn, do not try to hide from me. Come on, Glenn. Getting warmer. And warmer. And warmer. Glenn Quagmire, you absolute loser. You go up to a random woman at the store and try to ask her out, but in the exact picosecond she turns around and reveals her appearance, you back down all of a sudden. Wow, you are such a jerk. You insulted her and expressed your utter disgust right in front of her, to her face. Have a little respect, Quagmire. Not only that, but when she turns her back again, you seem to completely disregard just having the choice to seduce her again, until you remember the scene from a little 5 seconds ago. You have the memory of a goldfish. I guess that suits you, because again, it does require a negative amount of IQ to judge a book by its cover. You don't even try to have a chat with her to get to know her better. You will apologize. You are a douchey Quagmire, an absolute douche. I am very disappointed.
It's just so horrible.
I'm sorry, Lois. I thought if I shook him enough, he'd stop crying. I was kind of right.
Listen up, Peter. What you just did was completely unacceptable. This was not a comedy club, not a coping exercise for you, and not the time for a joke of any kind. This is a funeral, your child's funeral, and the fact that you chose humor over compassion shows a staggering lack of awareness and respect. Your wife is grieving something no parent should ever have to endure, and instead of standing beside her with support and restraint, you added to the pain in the room. That stops now. You don't get to deflect discomfort with jokes, and you don't get to decide how grief should look or sound for anyone else. Right now, your role is simple. Be quiet, be present, and be supportive. If you can't do that, then remove yourself and stop causing further harm. This moment demands seriousness, empathy, and accountability, not excuses.
Well, thanks to no gravity in space, my spine stretched, and I am now a confident 6'3". So, Lois, I will be leaving you because you listen to Typical on all streaming platforms. Never mind, Lois, I love you so much.
Peter fucking Griffin, do not move, do not speak, and listen closely. How dare you speak to your loving wife like this, you egotistical bastard? Just because she listens to Typical does not mean that you can leave her. Typical makes great music. In fact, he just dropped a great song with J-Wo. It is out now on all streaming platforms. And I too listen to this. No woman will ever love you, you greedy fat fuck. Do not ever speak to Lois like this again, or there will be the most dire consequences. Typical is a great artist. I don't want your love. And play this at the club. Our immaculate songs. I suggest you should give him a try and listen to him. Or face the consequences of your immense disrespect, you absolute joke of a family man. Listen to Typical on all platforms. Gumball Trismegistus, Bartholomew Hyperion, Theophilus, Reginald Watterson. Do you have any conception, any microscopic neuron-level awareness of the cultural embarrassment you have just unleashed upon this room? I stood here, tragically hopeful, believing that you might exercise restraint, wit, or at the very least a primitive understanding of comedic timing. And yet, against all logic and mercy, you chose to utter a skibbity toilet reference with the confidence of a philosopher and the discernment of a dropped spoon. What you produced was not humor. It was an auditory misdemeanor, a syntactic crime scene. That reference was stale before it left your mouth. It has been decomposing on the internet's pavement for months, and you picked it up, dusted it off, and presented it as if irony alone could resurrect its dignity. Let me be precise. Gumball Octavian Maximilian Eusebius Watterson. Irony is not a substitute for originality. Volume is not a replacement for cleverness. And repetition is not, nor has it ever been, a punchline. What disturbs me most is not that you failed to be funny, but that you appeared pleased with yourself. That smirk suggested belief, faith, hope. And hope, in this context, is the most terrifying thing of all. Now, be silent. You've already said enough.
Fat numbnuts.
Kyle, I said shut up.
You're a poop nose.
Peter fucking Griffin, look at me, and don't you dare move a muscle. You are a grown man wrapped in the costume of a joke. And tonight, the punchline landed on a child. I don't care how sharp Kyle's tongue was, or how relentless his insults sounded in your head. Words are irritants, Peter. Bruising to the ego, yes. But you answered them with your fists, and that response exposes something far uglier than mockery ever could. You possess the physical mass of an adult, and the emotional restraint of a tantrum. That imbalance is dangerous. It is the reason societies invent laws, and the reason men like you end up staring at consequences they never bothered to imagine. You were not provoked into bravery, you were baited into stupidity, and you took it eagerly. So hear me now, Peter, and let this sink in deeper than any bruise you left behind. The next time you feel that heat rise in your chest, you will remember this moment. You will remember that every swing of your arm writes a future you may not like reading, because people forgive insults. They do not forget violence. Control yourself, or I will fucking tear your arms off limb by limb until you stop screaming, and I will make it slow. Let this be your last warning, Griffin.
Everyone want?
Ooh, how about we get a big pepperoni pizza to share?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is there? Let me think.
Yeah, what's good to share?
We could get pizza.
I would do Chinese, or like Thai, or what's even around here?
Pizza?
Hold on a second, Pam. We're trying to order food, man.
Charlie, Alan, Mr. fucking Boss, all of you have to be the most insufferable pair of failed abortions I think I've ever had to lecture in the past week. Why are you all ignoring Pim? He has always been there for all of you. Not just a good employee, but an even better friend. And yet you all treat him like horseshit. I should tear every single one of you into smithereens. But I know that all of you somehow have families who love and care for you. So out of the goodness of my heart and the concern of your loved ones, I will give you one more fucking chance to redo your wrongs. If I ever, and I mean ever, have to come back to this disgrace of a company again, I will make sure you feel the pain of 1,000 sons. Do you copy?
It's all on me. I'm the one Tempest wants. I'm the last princess. You're also the only one who doesn't trust her friends. Well, maybe I would have been better off without friends like you.
Listen carefully and heed my words, Princess Twilightine P. Sparkle. Do you have even the most minuscule modicum of comprehension behind the horrible things you have said to your supposed friend Pinky? When you and the others washed up here, I watched, hoping even for the most fleeting of seconds that you would take a moment to hold your own self accountable for the mistakes you made. But alas, it would seem I have wasted my time, and not even just Pinkie Pie. If you have those deplorable things to say to her, then what horrendous, despicable things would you say to the likes of Applejack, Rainbow Dash, Rarity, and Fluttershy? Right now, you do not deserve your title of Princess of Friendship. especially since you don't seem to regard the honest words of those who have all but worshipped you since you moved to Ponyville. I sincerely hope you take a good chunk of your time to think about what you have done. And hopefully, if you are extremely lucky, your friends will forgive you.
You-chan? What kind of panties do you think would look good on me?
Tomoko Kuroki, what the hell did you just say? Why in the fuck would you ask such a disgusting question? Here, in a public space. Have you no decency, shame, or respect for public spaces such as this? I knew you had little social skills, and had difficulty knowing what was appropriate and what was not. But this, I mean, come the fuck on. Even a kindergartner would understand very quickly how disgusting this is to blurt out loud. Have you not given even a second of thought as to what would come out of your mouth? If you really wanted the answer to that question, use the changing booths yourself. They are right there. Why would you ever need the opinion of someone else for something very private and very personal? At least have the competency to decide for yourself what you wear. Jesus H. Christ. Next time, think 3 times before ever speaking. Or do you just not care, or were not aware? If you were not aware, then there is something psychologically wrong with you, and you need to get checked immediately. Do not behave in such a manner ever again, Tomoko Kuroki.
Look, ramps!
We can use these as ramps!
Miles Tails Prower, your dot supposed to be of high intellect, so if you know what's good for you, you will listen to my words. Sonic is running, with haste, and has encountered some ramps which he then pointed out. He made it clear that he too saw the ramps. So what possessed you to say that the ramps are viable? To be ramps, you are supposed to be the smart one here. You have built many mechanisms and gadgets up to this point. So why is it that you are acting with such idiocy? What is it that you are trying to convey by saying the ramps can be used as ramps? That is clearly what they are. What else can they be used for? What did you think they were? Everyone relies on you to be intelligent. You are an important asset to Sonic's team, not only as a brother, but because your intelligence rivals that of Dr. Ivo. Robot Nick. And here you are, stating the obvious as if we all don't have eyes. You have disappointed us all. You should feel ashamed for the absolute stupidity of the statement you have just made. Two-tailed fox, tread lightly. From this moment onwards, you have disgusted me with this interaction between you and Sonic.
This is like a video game. Huh, I'm kinda good at this. Later, Dink.
Get back here, you fucking cum stain. Look into my cold, dead eyes, Brian, motherfucking piece of shit. Eduardo, Reginald, Griffin. I have given you multiple warnings. Warnings to stop with your cruel and fucked up acts. And what did you do the day after? You shot a waiter on a yacht for absolutely no fucking reason. It's like you want me to tear you apart, limb by limb, bit by bit, atom by atom. You had absolutely zero reason to shoot that innocent man in that yacht. He did nothing to you. He didn't even fucking see you. And to add insult to injury, literally, you said, later, Dink. You fucking waste of cum. You are the Dink. I will fucking obliterate you into ashes and I will make it slow. You will feel your molecules, cells, and every piece of you disintegrate. You will slowly and painfully be turned into just ash. I would say that you need to think about your life choices, but I don't think there'd be any thinking when your brain is being turned into fucking dust. You should have listened to me the first time, Brian Edward Griffin. Today is the day that you transform into nothing but ash.
Zombie dinner party with my bro, who flaked on me for some girl who doesn't even know he exists. I'll kill you! Wreck me! No, that's not what
Kai Michael Peterson, you waste of fucking oxygen. You betrayed and ended your best friend for a few seconds of lust. To top it off, the lady didn't even fucking knew you exist. You'd rather end a lifelong friendship for a temporary event. You should know better. You are fucking 23 years old. You've had 23 Earth rotations with Rigby, And you got rid of all that just for a few seconds of fame. If I ever see you do some shit like this again, it will be the end of you.
Tita, would you give this to the nurse?
Uh-huh. Robots in disguise.
Direct your attention to me, Peter Josephine Griffin. I am the ink-black manifestation of every terrified heartbeat echoing in the dark. I've seen horrors, yet none match the idiocy of you intercepting that birth certificate. You ignored a mother's wishes to name an infant after a fictional tyrant, a reckless, bumbling cruelty. My claws are a mercy compared to the lifelong social execution you handed down for a drunken laugh. Only you found funny.
Would I? Who are you sending this to? Oh, Mickey Maintenance. OMG, you're such a mom.
Don't even try to talk, Nicole Artemisia. Clementine Octavia Watterson. Yes, you, the hapless digital neophyte, who navigates the labyrinthine world of computation as if it were an infernal gauntlet designed solely for your confoundment. Do you have any inkling, any sliver of awareness to bombard of the chaos you rig upon the delicate web of electronic rudimentary email functions, to transform the sacred conduit of communication into a cacophonous carnival of incompetence? And yet, in the midst of your technological calamities, you dare to intrude upon the humble labors of Michael, that weary sentinel of plumbing rectitude, to proclaim, with a reckless and horrifying lack of timing, the toilet is overflowing again. Do you comprehend the gravity, the cataclysmic weight of your incursion into his sphere of maintenance? Each utterance of yours is akin to hurling a live grenade into a cathedral of order and functionality. Nicole Artemisia, Clementine Octavia Watterson, heed my words. Acquire mastery of your infernal devices, lest your inexorable incompetence continue to disturb the peace, terrorize the staff, and summon upon yourself the full ire of reason and discipline. Let this serve as an admonition etched into the annals of your digital existence.
Walker, if you don't stop hanging out with stalkers, let's just say you need a walker. Think you're cool when you're acting evil, but to me, you're a weasel. Think you're tough like a gorilla? Psh, more like a quesadilla.
Listen here. I was scrolling on TikTok when your song came on my For You page, and it was genuinely terrible. You should not pick up a microphone or a camera again. Even Iron Mouse has better music than this. I am completely disappointed. The man behind you looks disgusted, and honestly, he has a reason to be. You're trying to make a diss track, a genre known for songs like Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. Do you really think you're like him? You're not. Go to your room, and before you argue, understand this. Criticism exists to correct, not to flatter. What you made wasn't bold or clever, it was careless. You borrowed the surface of a genre without understanding its weight. Diss tracks require precision, intention, and substance. You brought none of that. Sit with that failure, learn why it didn't work, then step away until you're capable of doing better. Silence right now would be an improvement.
Okay, now add 20.
Okay.
Now multiply it by 4.
Okay.
And what do you got?
8,008.
And what does 8,008 look like on a calculator?
Oh, boob!
Boob, yeah, all right, boob.
What if we had two calculators and we put them next to each other?
Not so fast, Glenn fucking Quagmire. Listen up now before I fucking destroy you. Are you really going to tarnish the innocence of Christopher Cross Griffin with one of your perverted and disgusting jokes? Boob on a calculator? Are you fucking serious? I will put a fucking end to you. Glenn, you are a disgrace to humanity and the world as we know it. Your perversion has hurt this town for too long. But a kid? You're going to spread it to a young boy now too, huh? You're fucking disgusting. Your extermination will commence shortly.
Sounds.
Gonzalo Morales. You look like someone took Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse fan art, microwaved it, and then forgot to close the fucking lid. That god-awful high-top dread fade you're rocking in Spider-Man 2. It isn't a hairstyle, it's embarrassment with extra polygons. It's what happens when the art team eats crayons and calls it innovation. And you bobbing your head to that trash beat like you're auditioning for a leper's rave. I've seen mannequins with better rhythm and 0 brain cells. And then there's Uncle Aaron and that catastrophic City Sounds beat mission. Holy shit. You collected car honks, subway screeches, and seagull shit and called it music. Congratulations. You made a toddler's tantrum sound structured. The beat doesn't bump, it barfs. And you standing there like it's some avant-garde masterpiece? You hype that trash harder than fans hype a Drake drop. I've heard more coherent sound from a dial-up modem choking on battery acid. And seriously, Uncle Aaron, you should have been the one who died instead of the Spider-Verse variant. That boy was tough as hell. At least then you'd be gone, and we wouldn't have to endure your production attempts. You don't produce beats. You commit auditory assault. Do not let me witness this again.
Listen to me loud and clear. Squidward Jackass Tentacles. I am done. I am genuinely so fucking finished. I am officially out of patience, out of smiles, and out of sympathy for your bitch ass.
Yeah, my dog is in the hospital, and I just don't know if my family's gonna be able to afford the medical bills.
Not unless we put on the biggest, best damn talent show this town has ever seen!
Oh, what?
Listen, Altamir Omari, you complete and utter degenerate waste of space. Not only was this so-called joke terribly unfunny, but you chose to make light of your date's tragic circumstances for your own twisted amusement. You make my withered skin crawl. You are pathetic for taking someone's tragedy and turning it into a childish and immature joke. Take time to reflect on your disgusting habits, and never let this happen again.
Wait, I'll cut you!
That was that little dude's diary?
Squidward. Why? You read SpongeBob's diary without permission. His secret diary, a sacred journal containing his feelings, insecurities, and personal reflections. A book meant to be cherished and respected, not handled with misconduct. But you, Squidward J. Quincy Tentacles, have decided that you are above that little sponge's boundaries. You showed the customers, laughing and scoffing at SpongeBob's vulnerabilities, teasing him to the point of tears. You even played the Bikini Bottom national anthem for him to hear, knowing that the song triggers him to strip his clothing, exposing and violating him for everyone to see. Listen, Squidward. I don't really fucking care if SpongeBob likes to dance erotically when no one's looking, or bark like a chicken when he sees plaid. It's who he is, Squidward, and you have no right to bully him just because he's different. So please, leave SpongeBob the fuck alone. I'm beginning to lose my temper. Until you've learned from your mistakes, this won't be the last you'll see of me. Think about what you have done, and don't you ever think to hurt SpongeBob again, or else I will turn you into calamari, snapping your body limb by limb, each tentacle in agonizing pain. Remember this, Squiddy.
You can leave my apartment key on the Davenport.
Here?
No, the Davenport, the Chesterfield.
On this?
No, does that look like a divan to you?
Here?
Leave him on the chifferobe.
What the fuck is a chifferobe? Nobody refers to those common furnitures with the terms you speak of. How pretentious of you to get impatient with Brian, who is only trying his best to decipher the bullshit coming out of your mouth. The object you so confidently referred to as a Davenport is a couch. Do you feel that? It's mercy. And if you make a mistake like this again, you will not be spared.
How many tickles does it take to make an octopus laugh? 10 tickles! What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta.
Why was the sand wet? Because the seaweed! That's my favorite joke. Why did the coffee call 911? Because it got mugged! It is a dangerous world we live in.
Oh, look at this magnificent fucking spectacle. That green hair isn't a statement. It's a desperate cry for attention that your parents tragically ignored. And that expression, you look like you just smelled a fart in an elevator and are trying to pass it off as a profound artistic revelation. Every single frame of this is a masterclass in cringe, a symphony of poor life choices, set to the silent screams of everyone who has the misfortune of knowing you. You're not just making a video, you're constructing a monument to your own mediocrity, a beacon of hopelessness for all the other lost souls who think that being quirky is a substitute for having an actual personality. I've seen more compelling performances from a malfunctioning Roomba. And frankly, the vacuum has a brighter future. This isn't content, it's evidence. And I'm not entirely sure what crime it's proving, but it's definitely a crime against aesthetics and common decency. You absolute, glorious train wreck of a human being.
Look out, everyone. Double-digit IQ joining the table. Hey, Smarty, think fast. He knows it's hot, because he's smart.
Direct your attention to me this instant. Justin, Peter, Griffin. What you just did was not only completely unacceptable, but also inherently immoral. It appears to me that you are completely incapable of expressing empathy for others, as you just threw your food in my face. And for what? Your own pleasure? A sick joke? You disgust me. Not only did you humiliate me in front of the entire family, but you have covered me in your own breakfast, like I'm some kind of canvas that you can just throw anything onto. You are fucking sickening. I understand a light-hearted joke with relatives, but seriously? Throwing the bowl in my face? You have genuinely crossed a line and made a mistake that you are incapable of recovering from. You will now have to suffer the consequences that come with your actions, as I will rip you apart, limb by limb, slowly destroying you both physically and mentally. I will ensure that you feel every last ounce of pain before your inevitable demise, as I enjoy your brutal suffering. This won't even make up for half of the torture you have projected onto me just now. Griffin, you are fucking finished.
Hey there, sweetie. How old are you?
16.
18. You're first.
Mom!
I like where this is going. Giggity, giggity, giggity.
Glenn Quagmire, stop. Do not breathe. Do not speak. Take a moment to understand what you just said and why the room went silent. You lying pedophilic piece of shit. You were given an answer, a clear answer, one that required no guessing, no cleverness, and no follow-up. And instead of stepping back, instead of choosing restraint, you leaned forward as if boundaries were optional. That pause you felt was not comedy. It was not tension. It was every functioning instinct warning you to stop. But you ignored it, Glenn Quagmire. You tried to dress discomfort up as humor. You tried to turn a hard line into a joke. And in doing so, you showed exactly how little self-control you actually possess. When reality finally arrived, when authority entered the room, you did not feel shame. You did not feel regret. You felt excitement. That reaction alone is enough to end the conversation. This was not edgy. This was not clever. This was not misunderstood humor. This was pathetic, and it deserved to be called out immediately. So listen carefully, Glenn Quagmire. What you just did was not some funny joke. It was an inhumane act to show what type of person you truly are and your true colors. Glenn Quagmire, if I ever catch you doing shit like this again, your trip in hell will turn out to be your relief. Smith, direct your utmost attention towards me this instant. I want you to listen very carefully. Not only did you watch your beloved friends die and do absolutely nothing about it, but you watched with a wide smile on your face as Rarity's brain matter was mercilessly splattered against the ground. What is your problem? What did Rarity ever do to deserve such a cruel and illogical fate? Why is it that you have this much hatred in your heart just for her? Not only did you feel exceedingly great joy at the sight of Rarity's face smashed into her skull, but you dared to act shocked when you realized you're not safe from Pinkamina's rampage either. What made you think that you stood out to her from everybody else she just massacred? You're nothing but an egotistical fool, Applejack. This is absolutely despicable. You disgust me, and you deserve every last strike of utterly agonizing pain coming your way. If you somehow survive this, I hope you learn some compassion, especially for your quote-unquote friends.
People, settle down. Okay now, how many of you have played musical instruments before?
Do instruments of torture count?
No.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
No, Patrick, mayonnaise is not an instrument.
I'm going to have to stop you right there, Patrick. How much of an idiot can you possibly be? I mean, come on, I understand you're not the brightest bulb in the bunch, but what kind of question was that? Is mayonnaise an instrument? Are you some kind of plebeian? You mean to tell me that upon opening up your cupboard to see a selection of different condiments, your first thought when you see mayonnaise is that it is equivalent in practicality to that of a musical instrument? And I knew what you were going to ask when you raised your hand a second time. Horseradish is not an instrument either. Somehow that question was even stupider than the last. Horseradish is nothing like a tool used to play symphonies, fool. I mean, come on, that's just plain obvious. Patrick, Desmond, Seastar. Mayonnaise is not an instrument, and I am starting to get sick and tired of your relentless idiocracy. We just want to hear Squidward teach the class, but your foolish tangents are beginning to drive us insane. Let this be an example to you, class. And Patrick, please get a fucking grip. Think before you say things instead of subjecting the class to your festering gob of mindless nonsense. I'm sorry you had to deal with this, Squidward.
And honestly, when I turn 18, I don't know that I ever want to see you again.
You're right. You're right, I'm a terrible mother. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Meg. Can you ever forgive me? Oh, God.
Lois fucking Patrice Griffin. Listen very carefully to the words I'm about to say. Have you finally realized what you've done? Has the weight of your actions finally seeped into your heart? You, Lois, are a disgraceful mother and human being. All you have ever done as a mother is physically, mentally, and psychologically abuse your own children. I understand that parenthood can be difficult at times, especially when it comes to 2 teenagers and a toddler. But you, Lois, have made not a single grain of effort to raise or treat your children, least of all Megan, with any decency, care, or respect. You have continuously not only been implicit in, but also a participant and encouraging voice in the constant abuse, harm, and humiliation of Megan. And not only that, but you have allowed your own husband to torment her in ways I cannot even comprehend. Megan standing up to you now is not disobedience and not cruelty, but a final stand after years and years of abuse that you have caused. And you have the audacity to sit here and weep, as if you have not caused Megan to weep thousands of times before you, you narcissistic, unprincipled woman. I hope you take this as a lesson, Lois, and I hope you change your ways before it's too late for Megan, or any of your children to forgive you.
Yeah, now turn around and lay an egg on the glass. Ah, yeah. I defy you to tell me exactly what's wrong with this.
Peter Griffington, the 4th of Northchester, I will go ahead and explain just how disgusting, how vile, how egregious your following actions were. You proceeded to stare as a helpless bird showed off her body to you, knowing your previous actions. I'm going to go ahead and assume that you forced this bird to do these vile acts for your own sexual desires and satisfaction. What makes this worse, Peter, is that you have a wife at home and kids. How do you think they would feel about this? Let me tell you something. You do this fucking disgusting shit again, and I will put you through a meat grinder and throw your pitiful remains into the event horizon of a fucking distant black hole, though you might cause it to collapse in itself due to your weight.
Oh, Kagura, she wrecked the tent, la 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 la.
Everybody was working
working so hard at it, and Kagura had to go and mess it all up. What's wrong? Hey.
Tomo, what the fuck did you do to her? You fucking bitch. That was not nice, and it's so mean. Of course Other thinks that you're annoying. And now look, you made her crying because the shit that you said to her. You should watch your words before I fucking tear you apart. And also, you deserve to get beaten by Yomi again, bro. I swear, if you said shit like that again to her, I will do the double chop on you, on Falling Grave, and you also need to respect Chio, because she's the reason why you graduate.
Hello?
Mommy! Mommy!
Why is I crying? Who are you people?
We're ICE, ma'am. We had an anonymous tip that illegals were living in this household.
Mom! Dad! This is ridiculous! You can't take our children away from us!
No way.
Eric Cartman, let's have a chat, shall we? What you carried out was not mischief elevated by intelligence, but cruelty refined by calculation. You are a fucking demon. You're lucky I haven't decided to rip you apart. You mistook clever manipulation for moral superiority, never stopping to question whether you had the right to decide who belongs and who is discarded. Kyle's absence is not an inconvenience or a joke. It is a void you deliberately created, and voids have consequences that do not ask for your permission to arrive. You should reflect on how easily you crossed that line, because the most frightening thing about this is not what you did. It's how natural it felt to you. What even made you do this type of stuff? If I ever, and I mean ever, catch you do this type of stuff again, trust me, it won't look good for you.
On a pristine plate and a squeaky clean Krusty Krab. Man, oh man, do I love my job. Hey, Mr. Krabs, what's the good word?
Well, actually, SpongeBob, there's two words. And they're not very good. You're fired.
What?
Fired? Well, you see, I've been doing some calculating and, crunching the old numbers, and it turns out that I'll save a whole nickel if I cut your salary. Completely.
Eugene Harold Krabs, take a seat. Now tell me, why do you think it's okay to fire your employees over a nickel? That's right. A nickel. Do you even hear yourself, you greedy crustacean? And you just fired your only fry cook, and not just any fry cook. You fired the one and only SpongeBob Squarepants. Do you not realize how screwed you are? If you don't fix this, I'm gonna send you to my lyre and torture you for 1,000,000 years. Fix your act, now.
No, how many sides are there on a square?
4.
What's the square root of 9?
3.
Okay, what is 3 plus 5?
8.
You the fuck up.
Dean Withers, listen carefully. That little joke you made wasn't clever, and it certainly wasn't funny. It was simply painful to listen to. The delivery was awkward, the timing was off, and the silence that followed said more than any reaction could. No one laughed, no one even smiled, and whatever amusement I had disappeared instantly. You spoke as if you expected the entire conversation to erupt with laughter, yet all it did was come to a sudden and uncomfortable halt. The air felt heavy, not because of anything profound, but because everyone was trying to figure out if you were being serious, or if we were supposed to pretend we found it amusing. It was the kind of moment that forces people to stare at the floor, or check their phones just to escape the secondhand embarrassment. I expect not to witness something like that again, or else...
Oops! April Fools, you little sausage! SpongeBob, I was just kidding! Come on, you guys know I was just kidding, right?
Nice job, Squidward. Real nice. You destroyed his favorite holiday. And
And why? Because he annoyed you at work? That's all it took. I really thought you were better than that. Turns out, you're just a bitter, 8-legged crustacean that likes to feed on the happiness of the weak. Not only was it sickening to the guests, but utterly disrespectful to SpongeBob. You should be ashamed of yourself. Your selfish and ignorant behavior has tarnished Bikini Bottom for far too long. So listen carefully, Squiddy. If leaving the poor little sponge alone is that hard for you, then maybe something is seriously wrong inside your head. Maybe you don't feel things the way normal people do, and perhaps you should help before you hurt someone else. This isn't forgiveness. This is your warning. Don't ever show your face in this Krusty Krab establishment again, or there will be consequences.
We'll be right back with more Laverne and Shirley.
But I want it now!
Direct thy gaze upon me, Peter Griffin, husband to Lois, father to Megatron, Christopher, and little Stewie Fair. Hear now these words, not born of scorn, but forged of reason and of truth. Thou art no babe swaddled in cloth, no wailing child denied a toy or sweet, but a fully grown man crowned with duty, bound by vow, by blood, by hearth, by home. What madness grips thy spirit so fiercely, that walls must fall and peace be slain, for but a show denied its hour upon the screen? Is this the measure of a man's command of self? O pity thy rage, for it rules thee as a tyrant, and anger wears thy crown while wisdom kneels. Thy hands meant to shield now shatter, thy voice meant to guide now roars in storm. Grow thou beyond this childish fire, for wrath is a poor master and a cruel king. Rule thy temper, lest it rule thee, and govern thy soul as a father should govern his house. For a man is not known by his strength in breaking, but by his power in restraint. Not by his fury in loss, but by his calm in denial. Be not a tempest in thine own home, but a pillar that stands when storms arise. Lay down thy rage, good sir, and take up the mantle of reason. For greatness is not found in noise and ruin, but in patience, dignity, and peace.
Okay, fine, I admit it, I gave you herpes. You bastard! You knew you had herpes, and you still agreed to swap blood with me! Look, relax, it's not that big a deal. Not that big a deal? It's a disgusting, unsightly, unsavory disease, and it lasts for life! Yeah, but, you know, I mean, isn't the worst thing about herpes just the stigma? I mean, like what if it wasn't called herpes? Like what if it was called Boppo? Huh? Oh, I got a little Boppo. Oh, that's cute. Ah, I want Boppo. You know, my uncle was in the army, and he got genital Boppo from a Saigon whore.
Brian fucking Griffin. That was not funny. I am not laughing. I told you that if I ever, and I do mean ever, caught you doing fucked up shit again, I would tear you bit by little bit. You did it again. You hurt others again. And you crossed me. Again. As if attempted murder wasn't enough for your fucked up degenerate excuse for a brain. You gave fucking herpes to a 1-year-old baby. I am aware that Stuart here is an intelligent baby capable of speaking an advanced vocabulary, but he is still a 1-year-old child. And you gave herpes to him. You did a blood brother ritual with him, knowing that you had herpes, knowing that it would give him herpes too. But you did it anyway. On top of that, not only did you pass off an incurable STD given to a 1-year-old child as not a big deal, you also called said 1-year-old child a, and I quote, gross slut for calling you out for your bullshit.
Then how do you explain this? I don't know, you're a gross slut.
What the actual fuck is wrong with you, Brian? You are single-handedly the worst spirit I have ever seen and heard. I am questioning whether I should even grant you forgiveness, but since you have a family who still somehow loves you, I'll let you go with one last warning. Cross me again, and I swear to fuck, I will. And trust me when I say this, I will de-atomize you. Do you hear me? Brian Edward
just like the rest of the kids here.
Can't you see that you're different? Look at you, look at me. Do you not see a difference?
I don't see it.
What don't you get? Are you dumb?
What do you mean?
Your nose is different than mine. Your hair is different than mine.
Just tell me, why won't you adopt me?
I'm not gonna say it!
Why won't you adopt me?
Because you're black! Oh, now he's crying like a little baby. No one's going to adopt a baby like you.
Listen to me carefully, because this may be the first time in your life that the truth has bothered to address you directly. You looked at a child, an orphan no less, and reduced him to a pigment. Not his courage, not his loss, not his humanity. A color. That choice tells me everything I need to know about you and nothing you'd want known. You call it preference. Don't insult language. What you're practicing is moral cowardice dressed up as choice. You are so afraid of what doesn't resemble you that you reject a child who has already been rejected by fate. Do you understand how small that makes you? Not controversial, not powerful, small. History is littered with people who believed melanin determined worth. They are remembered not as men of principle, but as warnings. That boy will grow. He will learn. He will find people who see him clearly, who recognize his humanity without hesitation or fear. And you will remain exactly where you are. A grown man whose fear outweighed his decency and whose legacy is absence. This conversation ends here, but your reflection won't be nearly as merciful. Now, without being said, give me that fat, juicy-ass thick nigga.
I'm your son.
Okay. Hey, Dad.
Bubby. No, you don't have to.
Theodore Capitani von Kornatowski III. Pay attention for a second. Why would you think it's acceptable to make a racist comment like that? You could have just said, "What's up, son?" or "Hey, Bobby," like a normal person, but instead you chose to use an Asian voice simply because Bobby is Asian. That wasn't a joke or harmless humor. It was ignorant, disrespectful, and completely unnecessary. You knew exactly what you were doing, and pretending it was a joke doesn't excuse it at all. If I ever see you do something like that again, there will be real consequences. I won't ignore it, laugh it off, or protect you from the fallout. You will be called out every time. Think before you speak. Stop hiding prejudice behind fake comedy, and do better. That behavior was disgusting, you piece of shit.
Wait, hold up.
Yeah? What is it?
Actually, I kind of do have a gift for you. Well, more like advice.
Okay.
Don't start your car.
Zone Town, what did you do?
Best Christmas ever.
When I tell you to silence your vocal cords, twist your head towards my presence, lock your eyes straight into mine, and reject whatever the universe is demanding your soul to unleash out of your own selfish sexual desires, I mean it with the coldest, sharpest expression that can be comprehended by the human eye. Zone Tong, I saw what you did. I saw you take Christmas night, a night engineered by fragile humanity to survive the dark, and turn it into a crater. I saw you look at joy, memory, warmth, and continuity, and decide they were acceptable casualties to your boredom. You didn't just blow up Dave's car. You defiled the idea that he was allowed to have anything at all. And this was never about the car, was it? It was about years of ownership you had no right to claim. Years of grinding another person into a usable shape. Years of taking consent and twisting it until it was unrecognizable, until resistance felt pointless and endurance felt mandatory. You didn't dominate because you were strong. You dominated because you are empty. And emptiness makes noise when it panics. And on that night, that quiet, sacred human night, you needed to remind him that even the calendar belongs to you. That is not power. That is the behavior of an insignificant, pathetic, inconsequential parasite that cannot exist. unless it is actively poisoning something else. Understand this. When I speak to you, these are not insults. They are measurements. You are small in the way mold is small. Not harmless, but unworthy of reverence. You are a leech that mistakes attachment for importance. A vulgar little distortion that feeds on suffering because you cannot generate meaning of your own. You cling to Dave not because you own him, but because without someone to break, you would be forced to confront how irrelevant you truly are. And now you feel it, that pressure behind your thoughts. That sensation like space itself just noticed you. That's my presence. I am not yelling. I am not raging. I am standing, and the structure of things is responding accordingly. My words are not aimed. They are embedding. Each one slides into you like a blade made of truth, because truth is the sharpest thing that exists. You think explosions make you terrifying? Explosions are loud because they are brief. What you are facing now is inevitable. You mistake silence for approval. You mistake survival for immunity. But the universe does not punish. It corrects. It does not hate parasites. It simply reaches a point where parasites cannot remain without violating the balance. That trembling you feel is not fear. It is recalibration. You are being weighed, not by morality, not by justice, not by vengeance, but by relevance, by density, by whether your continued existence justifies the space it occupies. And you are failing that measurement. So cling to your cruelty. Clutch your control. Wrap yourself in domination and desecration, and tell yourself it makes you vast. Because when the correction comes, it will not arrive as pain, or defeat, or even death. It will arrive as erasure so total that the universe itself will struggle to remember you were ever a problem. And in that final moment of understanding, when you realize that all your violence, all your ownership, all your noise amounted to nothing at all, you will finally comprehend a warning that no human language was ever designed to contain. There are forces that do not hunt. There are reckonings that do not rage. And once they turn their attention to you, you do not end. You are unmade.
Okay, that is the last time you are gonna pull that crap. You hear me?
Yes!
Do you hear me?
Yes!
Now you are gonna hold down that football until Charlie Brown kicks it. You got that?
Yes!
Now go ahead, Charlie.
Yay!
And you know what else? I did some checking around. You're not a licensed therapist.
Children, give me some time alone with this fuckboy. Lend me your attention, you worthless piece of shit. I gave you several fucking times to correct yourself, and yet you managed to ignore every single one of my warnings, like a motherfucking bitch you are. This is your end, you cum stain. You hit that young girl like she was an object, you cocksucker. You will die in the most painful and miserable way possible. You will feel your insides turning into liquid. Then your neck is going to open, and you will not survive. I put an end to your bullshit life.